Hi everyone, welcome back to VibesDigest. It's your host Cameron St. Clair and I'm here with the lovely MJ.
Hey guys!
Literally my first guest on this podcast. I'm so freaking excited.
I'm excited to be here.
So happy. I'm not gonna lie, if you are just listening to audio, not watching on video, you might not see this, but we are sipping a little bit of champagne.
Yes.
So this should be like a really fun episode. I actually think you're perfect for this episode because we do have a lot of arguably controversial topics to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Things like the election, Grammy nominations, Megan Thee Stallion. Who better to be on this episode than freaking MJ herself? So should we just hop right into it?
Definitely.
All right, so unfortunately we're going to do a quick little pulse check on some current events, and obviously the first one is election results.
Yeah.
No, that's like really depressing. So it's funny, I actually uploaded episode 2 a little bit later on Wednesday. Typically I upload at 8 a.m., but I literally didn't upload until 6 p.m. because Tuesday night, MJ and I, we were actually together, and we went to go watch this election. We were at an election watch party, and it was just progressively depressing.
I left at a certain point because I could not be there watching him get more and more electoral votes. I'm like, I just could be in bed right now. Like, I can't watch this.
Physically could not watch.
Yeah.
Also, the crowd was definitely like cracking jokes. I'm like, babes, this
It's
is
not funny. Nothing's funny.
Not the time whatsoever. Yeah, so I came back home and I tried to like start to edit my pod and I just couldn't. I took off on the day after. Obviously I got the news, but I think the most depressing part was just seeing how hopeful I was recording this on a Monday before I knew the results.
Yeah.
Literally like still thinking that there was a chance.
Yeah, I was just telling Cameron, I saw this tweet about how did all women get like a weird feeling in their stomach around 3 a.m. like election night or whatever? And yes, for sure. I literally called out of work because I felt so sick. And I know so many other people that like got that like pit in their stomach randomly in the middle of the night.
At 3 a.m.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
So that was gonna be my first question for you. Like, how are you feeling? It's been about a week since we found out. Like, what is the vibe now?
I mean, my eyebrow has... I can't say. My eyebrow has definitely been raised for the past week towards, let's say, a lot more New Yorkers, like New York City citizens or residents voted for him. And I thought this was like my little
New Jersey
blue,
too.
like, yeah, like
She only won by like, I think it was 51%.
like barely,
Yeah.
And like I thought we had the same understanding, but I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm definitely questioning because, and granted, this could be the fault of, social media algorithm. Naturally, you're thinking everyone views, the same as you.
Mm-hmm.
However, I felt like so many people were endorsing her outwardly, like supporting her,
Yeah.
people I spoke to, but the numbers aren't really adding up.
Not at all.
So I'm kind of like, what the heck happened?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen?
Definitely a lot of people I know didn't vote, but then,
Didn't vote at all?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like didn't vote, and then, the some that did vote for Trump. I know a lot of people.
You know people who voted for Trump?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
People did. And a lot of like third party.
Oh, wait. So are you saying, like, a lot of people personally that didn't vote? Or, like, you mean the 15 million Democrats?
Like, I
that
know, like the Democrats that
got
didn't.
you.
Yeah, like
got
my
you,
timeline
got
and
you.
things, and how many people didn't vote.
No,
yeah.
the way I was looking, I was about to check your
No.
friends. Like, who wasn't voting?
No, everyone I know voted, yeah.
Okay. No, I feel like because of that 15 million, like, missing number, I think it's, like, now 12 to 15. However, it's more than 2 million, which I feel like has people like, whoa, that's a huge number. There's some conspiracies going on.
Yeah.
Should we get into it?
We definitely should. I want to discuss.
Like, I've been seeing... It's not funny. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing because the topic itself is not funny, but I think we are low-key starting to sound a little bit like the other side. Mm-hmm. Coming up with, like, a lot of conspiracies about, like, did she actually lose?
It's giving me hope. Like, when you hold on to this one little thing for as long as
And that's what I was
can.
going to say. I feel like people are just looking for hope. Like, I think people are refusing to believe that this is actually true. This was the actual result.
I'll believe it on Inauguration Day.
Exactly, when he's actually appointed.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of feeding into it a little bit because I'm like, wait, you guys are right. Like, why isn't Trump bragging about this on Twitter? Why isn't, like, we haven't really heard from him.
Is he on Truth Social? Like,
he's
I'm not on
social.
there. No, but, like,
Oh.
on Truth Social, you think he's, like, doing all his, like, talking over there?
I don't think so. I think people were just expecting him to, like, be tweeting.
Yeah,
because that's
so
typically
true.
what he was. That's what he did on debate night. That's what he was doing during the election night, and like when he was winning all those swing states.
Yeah.
But like we have not heard him from a couple days.
That's so true. I know I feel like I've seen like little clips of him speaking.
I thought those were pre-recorded.
Places.
Like, are you talking about the like president-elect is speaking on this topic?
No. Like he looks like he's at a rally, but like I don't think it's a rally or anything. And it honestly might have been from before, but some of them seem like pretty recent. Yeah.
Well, I know the other reason why this conspiracy has started is because a lot of people pointed out the fact that leading up to the election, he was telling voters that we don't need your vote.
Yeah.
Like we already have plenty of votes. Like he wasn't going to he wasn't hosting rallies in swing states. He literally was like declaring winning
don't
even
go to
vote
the
for
polls.
me.
Like I have all the votes.
He was saying that like days before.
What
like,
does
what
that
do you mean?
No, I'm really hoping Kamala's team is like working on this in the background, and I can understand why they're not really like
outwardly
speaking about it right now. Like I was telling you the other day, like could be just like like witch hunt, like whatever, and we don't want to look like the Republicans. I mean, no one's storming the Capitol, but
yeah, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Seemed fun. Like
right.
What happened?
Wait, I want a tour.
Like
I got that from. I was watching the Rory Maul podcast. Although I completely disagree with Maul's point of views, and shockingly enough, Maul is the black one on the podcast. Rory's the white one. But Rory was cracking jokes, and he was like, "I too want a personal tour of the Capitol.
Like,
so maybe we should. I don't know.
Knock knock, we're here.
I mean, like." No, that would be a completely night and day situation for us.
No, but hopefully,
she's like investigating.
Something is in the works. I'm really hoping.
It's just interesting language. I also think it's really weird. Have you seen Elon Musk and that the news, like Joe Rogan was on a podcast with Theo Vaughn, and he was saying that all the news stations had different results at different times. We witnessed this. What were the stations? We were watching like Fox News and one other, MSNBC, and they were like completely different electoral votes.
Yeah,
like
from like
100 points off.
AP News was also
that
completely
too.
different.
Yeah, it was like 3 different news sources were all different, and again, it's not like we were just focused on the left. Like we were watching Fox.
Yeah,
and what's his name? Joe Rogan. He definitely pointed that out, and he was saying that he was texting his friends. He name dropped Elon Musk, and he said that Elon called the election 4 hours before they came out because he created an app where he was able to get direct data. You didn't hear about this?
No.
He was able to get direct data from... How the hell is this man getting direct data from our election when he's not even an American citizen, from my knowledge?
Man in the world, I guess you can probably do anything.
But, like, you're not from here.
Yeah.
And even if you are, like...
Yeah.
I don't think we can get access to that. Like, how were you able to create an app where you're able to, like, have direct data just flowing in?
Is he a citizen? Like,
I don't think he's a citizen.
Why the fuck?
He's South African. Oh, but he loves him. I can look it up real quick, but...
in business that's not his.
No, I know. He doesn't know how to mind his own business. I'm sure there's plenty of it. Oh, wait. U.S. intelligence community is wary of looking into those interactions because Musk is an American citizen. Oh, well, apparently he is a U.S. citizen. Oh.
Citizenship. Okay.
Oh, he acquired U.S. citizenship in 2002. I apologize, Elon Musk. You are now an American citizen. Got it. Okay, fine. Whatever. But the point is, like, why are you still allowed to have direct access to freaking data before the news?
Yeah, I'm really curious about that. What's the app?
He didn't name drop the actual, like, name of the app.
It's app?
His app. He created an app directly to, like...
And are other people on it, or is it just for his access?
It was for him.
To data
it was just his direct access, and he was like texting people like 4 hours.
Wow.
Joe Rogan said, I'm gonna show you afterwards. I'm recording. Joe Rogan literally said 4 hours before like any media outlet announced it. He was like, "Yep, Trump won."
Wow.
He was calling counties. Joe Rogan said that he was literally like saying, "This county got this many votes. This county got Trump got it."
Wait, shit.
Is that not like sus? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a rich man having too much access. But I think this is why people are having conspiracies.
Yeah, I mean, also the like burnt ballot boxes and the bomb threats and all of that like cause people
the mail-in ballots that haven't been counted. Y'all, my mail-in ballot.
Yeah.
My mail-in ballot has not been counted. they just received it. Now, granted, I'm still registered to vote in Maryland, so, like, she got that state.
Yeah.
Also, the senator I wanted, she won.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's still annoying as hell. I wanted to be on record that I voted. I don't want nobody to catch me slipping.
We were talking, I think yesterday, I was like, yeah, I'm just wondering how many other people didn't get their votes counted or whatever, and Cameron's main concern was when you look people up, like, people need to know that I am executing my civic duty,
yes,
for sure.
Yes, like,
I'm dead.
That would be a horrible reputation. I'm over here talking so much about this.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, definitely. So my other question about the election is, do we think we should hold influencers to a certain standard when it comes to politics? And, like, meaning, should they, one, speak out? Two, should we stop supporting people who don't necessarily agree with our own? Mm-hmm. Now, I think in general, I'll only go first on this real quick. I believe that if someone disagrees with me, but it's nothing that would, like, actively harm me, cool. Like, I can still support you. Yeah. For example, if we were supporting someone like a Mitt Romney, right? Like, let's say Mitt Romney was the one running and you just prefer his policies over Kamala Harris, completely understand. Mitt Romney is not a bigot. He's not a bigot. He's not actively, I believe he's one of the Republicans. Please don't quote me. I could be wrong. I believe he's one of the Republicans that wasn't, like, actively for Project 2025.
Yeah. And also Trump in general.
And Trump in general. He doesn't like that man.
Yeah.
I can support someone still. I feel like if you're just, like, like, I don't care if you're a Republican. I care when you're supporting a man who actively is spewing hate. And I think that's when I would, like, not want to support you.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Politics in the last, when did you get elected? 16? Like 10 years or so have just become so polarized where it's like, what are even our policies outside of being, like, super racist and being not racist and being, like, super, like, homophobic and not being homophobic and things like that. Yeah. I like to joke, like...
what is she about to say?
Like, for the influencers, whenever someone is, like, promoting, like, Kamala and things like that and, like, Tim Waltz, I was, like, all for it, whatever. But then, like, the amount of black rappers that are pro-Trump... And for a reason I can't even, I know a lot of them are like, oh, like, or Sexy Rat, I think, was like, oh, like, those stimulus checks. I'm like, you're not in a position where,
she
like...
ended up voting for Kamala.
I think so.
Yeah, but, like,
she changed
why were you even...
Stop talking.
Yeah.
So, like, that's when I'm like, okay, some people do deserve to be silenced. Like, not everyone deserves that right. And obviously I'm kidding, but when we're talking about, like, democracy and, like, harming our democracy, like, for sure we should take that right away from you. Yeah. That's biased, but also, like, it's true. Like, he's truly eroding our democracy, so I... really don't care.
Right. Yeah. Right. I think it's interesting from an influencer standpoint. It's kind of funny because you can always tell when they're like, actually, I don't feel comfortable sharing my point of view. I don't feel comfortable talking about it. It's like, girl, we know. We know what that means.
Yeah. I saw this TikTok and I forgot what influencer it was. But she was talking about how a lot of people, she's seen a lot of people recently saying they've had to unfollow their favorite influencers because of their politics recently.
Any given Sunday? Any?
Yes.
The lawyer.
Yeah. And she was like, well, if your favorite creators were black women, you wouldn't have that problem, which is very, very true. I feel like I haven't had to unfollow any influencers this time around.
I did.
Who did you unfollow?
I did. You know what's so bad? I can see her face. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. She was
okay.
But
what was her niche?
Her niche, she was funny. Like, she would just say out of pocket things. But not, like, in a offensive way at all. It was more so, like, she would tell people to shut the F up. Or, like, you know, she would talk a bunch of crap about her ex-boyfriend or be like he might breathe too much in his sleep or something. And she would, like, rant about that. Like, she was, like, a very casual, funny girl.
Okay.
From Long Island, though. I do remember that. And you Long Islanders.
I'm like a little bit raised. Hello? Yeah, I gotta double take a little bit.
Now, she didn't outwardly say who she voted for. However, I didn't like her reaction post, like, him winning.
What was it?
It was very much like, why is everybody mad? Like, she used to sound like, why is everybody mad at me? Like, why is it so tense out here? Which I'm like, why would anybody be mad at you?
Come on now.
Number one.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because she's a white woman and, like, a lot of people were disappointed in white women for voting for him.
Which, was she saying it in kind of like a like mocking way?
It was a TikTok sound, and it was more so like, and the caption was like, "Why is it so awkward out here?" Then her next video was like, honestly, but exactly, and that's what I'm saying. But I think it's also, you would only post something like that if you did vote for him, you know, because why would anybody be mad at you if you voted for Kamala?
Yeah.
The other post that she did directly after is that, well, minus all this other BS, I'm about to go to the grocery store and spend $400 on groceries, and that's what I really care about versus everything else.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's
so
and that
blatantly
just
like
that confirmed it. That confirmed it for me. Mind you, this is the Wednesday like morning, like hours after we're all
like
finding
fresh.
this out,
Wow.
and this is what you're posting. Wow. However, like, your groceries are not $400. Number one,
absolutely not.
Like, what are you
heard of
talking
Trader
about?
Joe's, guys? Like, that place is real. Okay, obviously I know grocery prices have gone up, like everything, but like
also
Joe's.
let's understand why inflation is where it's at. Yeah. This is not a political podcast, so I won't go too deep into it. But with that being said, like, I think some people just need to have a better concept on how inflation works. Yeah. I think people need to understand how long an economy, like, literally the Biden administration adopted a sinking ship, and it sunk in 2021.
Pandemic, a global
Everyone
pandemic.
Forgets that.
Yeah,
everyone forgets
Can't
that we
forget
literally had COVID.
Get your boosters, like it's still out there.
Hello.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to forget that happened, and everyone seems to forget that things don't just immediately drop. Mm-hmm. Like, it definitely is over time. And then I was doing phone banking. I think I talked about this in one of my episodes. But I was talking to this one guy, and he was like, honestly, the economy has only been doing well in this past quarter. Yes, because it takes years.
Time to,
like,
resettle.
It takes time to resettle. Like, think about the Obama administration. He also welcomed, like, he literally, inherited a sinking, a financial crisis. Nobody had jobs. Mm-hmm. Everybody's freaking, the housing was a crap. I can't even speak right now.
Yeah.
But the point is that Barack Obama, it took him years to like rebuild the economy, and he did that. That was his whole running point in 2012. Like, you're seeing the ticking is starting to, you know, turn. I feel like my frustration is primarily on the Democratic Party. I think there could have been so many things that they should have done better. Yeah. Like, maybe give the woman more than 107 days.
I was just thinking, like, if she had more time to, like, because you're saying, like, Obama ran on, like, sort of kind of explaining how the economy works. Mm-hmm. And maybe she had time to fully, and obviously there's so many other issues, but a lot of people were really concerned about the economy. Not everyone, like, I barely understand the economy. Not everyone has, true. Like...
That's true. I just work in financial services, so that's why. But that's also very true.
If they had more time to, like, see what the major issues are, and then make a campaign based on that. If Mr. Biden
because
had jumped out a little earlier,
or how about never ran? So people like we voted for him for many reasons, but another selling point was that it was only going to be a 4-year term. We just knew he could beat Trump.
I didn't think he'd make it this far,
we didn't think like living wise.
For sure.
Wait, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, they about to tap into my podcast. Secret Service at my door.
JK.
Just kidding. But no, like, he promised that he was gonna rerun. Yeah. All of a sudden, he's rerunning.
Wait, he fully promised?
Like, he made a statement that he was not gonna run again. He was only doing a 1 term. That's what he told us because of how old he is. There's also rumors that he has dementia. Yeah. Like, his health is deteriorating.
For sure, definitely.
I'm convinced that it wasn't his decision to actually drop down. I think after that debate, the Democratic Party was like, someone else has to do it because that was a really bad time.
What's also frustrating is that it truly is giving a lot of politics right now. But there's so much to talk about.
So much to talk about.
What's also frustrating is that no one around him, I mean, maybe, I don't know how stubborn that man is, but there's so many different people running the campaign and like working around him. Someone should have been like months ago. For the sake of the party, like, you have to stop.
You have to stop.
I think drop out much earlier.
I feel like they just like believed that he would have been able to perform well, but guess what?
You're day to day, like.
But you know what? Everyone's talking about how his health is all of a sudden better. I think people aren't thinking about how much, like, what does campaigning actually look like? Do you know how many states in one day Kamala was like going to? She would do like 3-4 states in a day. Mm-hmm. And then would show up on SNL, like,
all with the energy you need to have to like be in the public eye.
Yes. And, like, that has a huge toll on your body. So
Yeah.
I'm sure Biden, like, felt like he had enough energy and he felt like he could do it. He started and he realized, holy crap.
No.
That's probably why he's looks healthier.
What?
I know. I don't know why he gets that impression. I think something else that's very frustrating about him is not enough people complain we don't know much about Kamala. He didn't give her a lot of spotlight.
Yeah.
And I feel like Barack Obama did a great job at that. We always, like, they were besties.
Wait,
and
that's so
remember
true.
the friendship bracelets?
Yeah.
They would go on jogs together. He would literally allow Joe Biden to do some speeches.
Yeah.
Like, why were you never putting Kamala up,
That's
really in the
true.
forefront?
I guess at the end of the day, he's just a white
He's
man.
just a white man at the end of the day.
Like, truly.
I don't think he really wants to support her.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely, I don't know. I feel like this was like a forced thing, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the Democratic Party from the jump, and even if it wasn't Kamala, it should have been whoever you think can actually beat this man. A year ago, maybe 2 years ago, the party should have been pushing for that person and sending support. How the hell did you expect a woman to, like, literally, not a woman, a person in general, to run a campaign in 100-something days?
Yeah.
And I'm mentioning this because I'm also getting really frustrated with a lot of people who are being overly critical of how she ran her campaign. She had, like, 3-4 months, you guys. She did the best she could.
Actually, yeah.
She didn't have time. She raised $1 billion freaking dollars, which is so insane. So insane. And she did her absolute best. People are critiquing, like, her use of celebrities. Trump also used celebrities. Also, don't even talk to me about the comparisons because Trump barely ran a campaign.
Yeah.
He
ran around, like, shouting things. Like, I don't know what he
ran
actually...
hate.
Yeah, actually.
I don't know if you guys have seen his commercials, but those are some hateful commercials.
I don't think I have seen many.
Unfortunately, I was watching the World Series. So sad about the Yankees.
Yeah.
But, like, every time, like, major sports events, he was literally... Those political ads, like, it would be like 3 or 4 per commercial cycle. It was
a lot
insane.
of money.
No,
I've seen, like, little clips of them. I saw how, like, maybe it wasn't just him, but, like, people in the Republican Party got in trouble for using, like, I think they used, like, a picture, the survivor, the mother of someone.
Are you talking about Amber?
I don't know.
Is that the woman who... No, but she passed away.
I don't know. Their child died from, like, gun violence or something, and for some reason, like, their clip or, like, picture was used and, like, ad, like,
wait, I saw that the mother was, like, upset.
Like, very
she was
upset.
on Twitter,
yes,
like, this is
like,
disgusting.
and I saw a few of those. I was like, is this allowed? Like, can you just use people's images and things like that?
Right.
But no, basically, I haven't seen too many of his ads.
Some of his ads were, which is not funny at all. This is disgusting. He would literally say things like, Kamala wants trans women to play basketball on the female basketball team. She's for they, them. I'm for you. What the hell? Like, it's not funny, but, like, it's only a little, like, what the hell? Because Kamala, that was her whole thing. I'm for you. And he's like, she's for they, them. I'm for you. What in the hell?
And also, like, again, speaking on how he's running on hate, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Like, what are you
That's why I don't believe the BS of everyone voting for him because of the economy. No.
Like, you saw that ad and, like, yeah, he's transphobic too, thank God.
Like, hello?
Anyway.
That was literally how he was running. His first 2 actions, he said, day 1, I'm deporting people. Day 2, I am making sure there's only 2 genders.
I'm sorry.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Where is he talking about the economy?
Not at all.
And also he's talking about grocery shopping. When's the last time you gone to a grocery store, Trump?
Good question.
Do you even know the price of eggs?
But, like, he's been super rich most of his life.
Entire life. He's a Nepo baby.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Well, okay. This was, before we start ranting beyond measures, and it really does become a political podcast, let's go into something else a little bit too close to home. New York City, the tri-state area, baby, is on fire. Oh my god. Like, not funny at all. Sorry. Okay, listen, if you hear MJ and I laughing, like, it's more of a nervous laugh.
A dry
it's
laugh.
Like oh crap laugh. Like, there's no way this is
this
happening.
is the situation.
This is what we're stuck with. Yeah. So it's funny, not funny. Sorry. I noticed, like, I want to say the middle of September that I hadn't needed my umbrella in a while. And I was checking the weather. Like, I typically check the weather all the time. because in New York, one thing about New York City, it will claim it's not raining, but even if it's a 20% chance, baby, pack that umbrella because it's gonna be a
no matter how brief, like,
yes,
it'll
it's
rain.
Gonna rain,
Yeah.
and as a black woman in our hair, you need an umbrella at all times. But I was like, dang, like every time I was going to the office, I did not need an umbrella.
I didn't even clock that, actually.
I clocked it, and I was like, wait, this is weird. A week or two later, some TikTokers started posting about it, like, New York City might be headed to a drought.
Did
this
you
is
see
the
Eric
longest
Adams
time.
was like, please conserve your water, like there's a drought?
Yes, but also, so I also saw another guy who, I love smart people, and I love people who have time. He did the math on, like, when we'll actually run out of water. And this was last week. He said a year from today, if we never get rain again, we'll run out of... He had time.
What?
He had time on his hands. He said a year from today, we will end up, like, running out of water.
Okay.
Which, like, okay, so we're probably good because, like, honestly, realistically, it's gonna rain a couple times. I also didn't realize, like, how these systems work, like, the pipes and stuff. I'm not gonna break it down because I'm not informed enough, but all I know is he was like, if you live in certain areas, me, Brooklyn, girl, some of my shower water is 3 months old.
Oh.
Ew. Ew. Like, jump scare. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure there's like a heavy filtration system.
No, apparently it is.
Yeah.
It is. So that's also what's saving us. So he mentioned like your water is 3 months old is because 3 months ago we definitely were getting a lot of rain. Remember in the summer?
Yeah.
So like all of that rain is definitely. Oh, I'm so sorry. All of that rain is definitely in that system, that filtration system, and it's been cleaned out and it's just being stored.
Okay.
Could you imagine? I shouldn't even say something like this. Could you imagine if somebody like as a threat, like a terrorist attack, like actually like doing a mass shooting or doing like a bomb thing, like just cut our water off. Like, could you? That would be sick.
Head
like
to
someone blows up the water.
No,
actually,
it's in
New York.
No, but also like California's already in a drought. Like imagine someone takes
wait, that would be horrible.
water.
Like that's a new terrorist attack. We're gonna just bomb the water tanks.
No human casualties. I mean,
hey,
at that moment.
Well, we're all funky, so damn near. Bro, the subway, we're in a drought. Could you imagine? Imagine if he started telling people to stop taking showers. New York, don't do that. Don't do that. Yo, especially during the winter when it be like 90 degrees on those subway tracks.
There has to be another solution.
There has to be another solution.
Stock up on
Eric,
like wipes or something
it.
if that happens.
Find it.
Yeah.
That can't be the solution.
I mean, he's busy.
Who's busy?
Eric.
Partying?
With his like criminal case.
Oh, well, that too. But like also like he's like basically a party promoter.
What? I do know he like
goes to
clubs sometimes.
Why is our mayor clubbing?
That's very true. Clubbing and like is okay with the pictures that are being taken.
Like with bottles on the freaking Breakfast Club.
Serious things
like
to
you
worry
have
about
stuff
right now. On the Breakfast Club?
He was on the Breakfast Club.
What was he talking about? City policies?
Barely.
What in the world?
He wants to be famous. I think
giving that.
Eric wants to be an influencer.
He should just drop drop out, babe. It's okay. No, like seriously, you have the fame. Truly, he has the notoriety.
No, he definitely has the fame.
Let someone else step in.
No, someone else should probably definitely step in. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was going to be this route.
Yeah.
No, it must be in 2 years, 2026.
Okay. We have a lot to think about in 2026.
But he might be in jail by then.
That too.
Wait, did you see when he had like a whole, like, I don't know if this is before the lawsuit came out, or not lawsuit, his current case, like the charges came out. But there was a lot of issues with like migrants and a lot of other just stuff going on in New York. Yeah. And this man did a press conference saying, yeah, we're going to take Diddy's key to the city back.
I remember that. I'm dead.
Like, let's priorities, babes.
Yeah.
Priorities. First of all, key to the city don't really mean nothing.
He's really, really in pop culture. Like, I know that's like criminal or whatever, but like
he's fully in it.
Sir, you were the mayor of New York City.
Girl,
like,
he loves to be seen. Wow. I'm an AKA. I don't think I've told you this, but on our Founders Day, he lit up, I think it was only alphas and AKs, he basically like lit up this, it was the Empire State, I want to say, like, you know how they do the Empire State for like different colors for different events. He put Alpha Kappa Alpha like on there for us. But like, why was he there? And like, why were the cameras? And it was like a whole press thing.
I'm
like, why am I
dead.
seeing Eric Adams like with our regional director right now, like shaking hands, doing a speech? Like,
When is Founders Day?
January 15th.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, which is so
very
sad
weird.
because January 20th is the inauguration. Kamala was
Supposed to.
that was gonna be a fire time in DC.
Wow.
We would have been in those streets, girl.
Damn. Like, what if? I mean, can anyone just show up?
To what? The
The
inauguration?
inauguration?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
public. Yeah. My mom and I were gonna go for Barack Obama, but she
definitely
went with her bestie. This is when she was working for a news station.
Yeah.
I won't say the news station, Mom, don't you worry. But yes, at the time she was working the actual coverage of the inauguration. Her friend flew in. I was too young because it was freezing. This is before global warming, so there was proper snow and proper
At the
weather
right time.
change. Yes, and it was just also too many people. I was like 8
Yeah.
at the time, maybe 7. But yeah, no, she went.
Really
You can
cool.
definitely go. Like, there were people climbing trees to go. It's a
Well,
public event.
I mean, personally, I'm gonna stay home with this one.
Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna skip
I
this
might have
one
to skip
out.
this. I'm actually busy that day.
Yeah.
No, but I'm really curious about the status of his case because I feel like we haven't heard anything in a really long time.
No, we haven't. Like, not since he got the charges.
I think he like turned himself in. I don't know if bail was
But
set
how's
or
he
not.
Wait, how is he still an active mayor?
I literally get emails every, I think, week
Yeah.
at work. Like, the mayor of New York City, he's like, have hope, have faith, like, blah, blah, blah.
For
like,
him?
He just, like, talks about bullshit. Like, I never
He's
read
been
them.
going to churches in, like, Harlem. Did you see that?
dead,
No, I know
no.
this for a fact.
No.
He went to literally Harlem and, like, had, like, all these black churches, like, praying over him.
Oh, he's really. I thought it was like he's trying to look like an upstanding citizen, but he knows
I
he
know.
needs like divine intervention.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
He's an influencer.
Wow. No, but it's funny because like usually at the end of his like little weekly emails, because he's like I don't know updating the city like whatever. I never actually read them.
I'm gonna be on this like list. I'm gonna go on this newsletter list.
I'm just like please get out of my inbox. But at the bottom it's always something like feel free to reach out like blah blah blah.
Reach
like,
out to
here's
who?
like exactly
Him?
the mayor's office. Like it's not like a personal number or
got it,
anything.
got it.
But the week, like the day after he got arrested, the charges came forward. Yes, that happened.
That's
the
it.
mayor that's just so crazy to me.
Our mayor has been arrested.
Yeah.
Our president's also, you know?
Yes. But like the
We just
day,
let all criminals do whatever, right?
truly. No, but the day after, at the bottom, it was just like a more like somber email, which made me laugh. Like, no, like feel free to contact me.
It's like,
it was
actually,
just, like,
don't message
please
me.
don't reach out. Like, I'm not doing
I'm
well.
dealing with way too
Like,
much
clearly,
right now. I'm
that one
dealing.
made me laugh.
That's actually hilarious.
Um,
Oof, this is crazy. But yeah, the wildfires were not only in Prospect Park, it was in Staten Island and New Jersey.
I didn't know that.
Yes. There was like a fire in each. Now, granted, some people, again, conspiracy theorists, ooh, they were like, somebody had to light Prospect Park on fire. Like, can we just believe that our environment's burning? We haven't had rain.
Okay, stupid
all
question.
the
How does
entire
that
month of
just
October.
start?
Because there's that, so my roommate, she's so smart.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
really into environmental science. She's really into planting. She's in one of those like little community gardens.
It's also that Ivy education.
That Harvard education. She was breaking this down to me. Now, did I fully process and understand? No. I wish she was here to like give us a little bit more information. However, I believe that like soil holds water. So you know when you overwater your plant, and typically for us it just like drips into like whatever the plastic thing is over there, right? Yes, exactly. But imagine it's just dripping into the ground. So overall, like our atmosphere, like our actual, the air we're breathing into should be a certain level of like moisture in it. However, it hasn't rained in a month. So our air is very dry right now, and our atmosphere, like there's no moisture in the air because it has not rained in like I believe 6 weeks.
That's crazy.
Like a long time, like since September, and it's November now. It's scary. So what happens is, this is what happens in California too, because California also does not get a lot of rain.
Yeah.
Typically it's like when the air is too dry and when plants and there's no water in the soil or whatever, how does it actually catch on fire? I'm not 100% sure. But the reason why it can't stop is because there's no moisture in the air, and it's, yeah.
They can't like.
Now, I also wonder if, like, how it happens, my theory, and I could be so wrong, you're probably gonna be like, girl, you're dumb as hell. I'm informed.
I don't think so.
I think it's like air is super dry, the wood is super dry, and the sun is like that heat is like hitting.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you can start a fire with literally like
yes.
Like,
are you talking about like a
magnifying glass?
Yes, that's what I was just thinking.
Exactly.
Wow.
And the wood, and you can just like literally rub wood against each other, and like the light from the sun will set it on fire. I think that's happening from the sun. Like being too bright or whatever on the actual wood, and it just catches on fire.
Yeah. It's crazy that I didn't realize it was like all these different places. It's crazy that because they started the same night.
Yeah, no, it was like the same weekend.
Wow.
Or we're all about to die. I don't know. Like maybe it's Revelations. Maybe it's
no.
That's like that crazy Christian, but like maybe the end is here. I don't know. Now we're gonna get into Digital Digest. As you guys know, Digital Digest is all things trending on social media. So a little bit more fun.
Needed that.
Yes, the Grammys nominations, they came out. I have a couple thoughts. First of all, the two artists I'm gonna really be talking about right now is Kendrick and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce had an all-time record with 99 total Grammy nominations, 11 this time, but like 99 total. That's an insane record. She also officially has already the most amount of Grammys in general.
Does she? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she did. She won it the last cycle.
Shit.
However, Renaissance did not win Album of the Year, and that's when
crazy.
Jay-Z, he received like an honorable like Grammy, and he gave that
Yeah.
speech and was like, "You guys are gonna just continue disrespecting her."
Yeah.
And that makes me wonder, and a couple other fans, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm more in the calm side of Beehive, but I will claim it.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with them when they're like, continuously the Grammys disrespect her, and yes, they gave her Album of the Year this time. They gave her a ton of Grammy nominations. I pray that she wins. Okay, a few things. One, I do hope she wins, because once again, you're now inviting this star. You're making it seem like, oh, you're hitting records, like you have to
This star,
attend.
by the way, it's Beyonce. No, I know.
No, that's real. That's real.
It's like just the word. I'm like,
yeah.
It's not like you're like giving her this
than.
one little thing. It's Beyonce.
You're bringing Beyonce here, making her feel like, oh, this is my night. I've already like broken records, just like last year. But then you snub her for every single major category.
Beyonce, guys. Like, that's insane.
But then another part of me is like, holy crap, Cowboy Carter should not be winning Album of the Year.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, I definitely preferred Renaissance to Cowboy Carter. But, and I know you like feel some type of way about it. I personally
you prefer Cowboy Carter over?
Don't prefer, but I like it a lot.
Oh, okay. I thought
I like it a lot. The first time I listened to it, I wasn't a big fan, but then I'm not a big fan of any album really the first time I listened to it.
That's fair.
But like I really enjoy Cowboy Carter. Definitely Renaissance is better, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I agree. I think Renaissance. I feel like Renaissance made that. My mother actually thinks Renaissance is her best album. I feel like. I think self-titled Beyonce is her best album, just because she changed the trajectory of dropping music. Remember, I talked about it dropping on a Friday?
Guys, I learned so much from Cameron's first episode. Like, tune in every episode. You learn so much.
So much information. I feel like that was her best album only because I felt like this is when she started kind of like changing how she was making music. She started being more sexual. She was like, hey, I'm a woman. Yes, I have sex. Yes, I like to talk about myself. Yes, I'm a confident black woman. That's what that album kind of gave, especially post Blue Ivy. And we'd never like heard Beyonce singing vulgar, quote unquote, vulgar, songs.
Yeah.
And it also felt like that was like a transition of, freedom, like I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just like trying to tell my story. And it was a beautiful album, right?
Like, I
feel like that would have been a great one. And then Renaissance a close second. That's the only album, no skips.
Nope. I completely agree.
No skips.
I might also agree with your mom. I think that might be
Renaissance is her best.
Yes.
I think it's also the time. I love the fact that Cowboy Carter should have been Act 1. And you can tell it should have been Act 1.
What do you mean?
So Beyonce said Cowboy Carter should have been Act 1. However, because of the global pandemic and the timing of it, she made Renaissance Act 1. Like Break My Soul, it dropping that summer.
Wait, that's real. Okay, I get that.
No, but she did that on purpose. She was like, everybody needed joy. And that's why she made Renaissance the first album.
I love her.
But I argue that you can absolutely tell that Cowboy Carter was supposed to be Act 1 based off of the performance.
What do you mean? Oh, like how
well it's performing, how well it's charting, and also just like comparing, like, you know how we were like Act 1 was so much better than Act 2.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet Act 3 is going to be better than both?
Okay, I'm really excited for that then. I'm like
really
a little
excited.
bit worried, but like I know she's gonna make me like it. But wow, that's interesting.
I'm like, I can almost tell now, like, this makes sense that like Cowboy Carter isn't something that feels, I mean, I don't know, like, she
good, like obviously
it's
like
good.
The Renaissance
it's good.
Was definitely better.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's definitely lasted longer. Like, people are still listening to Renaissance to this day.
Cuff It Wetter version might be one of my favorite songs. I like put it on like constantly.
And
it
I
just sounds
love
so good to the ears.
I love how online Beyonce is. The fact that she knew people were trying to like make slower versions of Cuff, and she said, you know what, y'all, let me just make a remix. Let me just give you what y'all want.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. I don't know. I'm feeling some type of way. Like, I want her obviously to finally get Album of the Year. I feel like they've disrespected her constantly by always nominating but never giving. Lemonade?
Yeah.
Lemonade was her most vulnerable album.
What am I talking about? That is I completely forgot about Lemonade for some reason. I love Lemonade, and I'm gonna show this episode to Molly. Me and Molly love Lemonade.
Aww.
Like, we bond over that so much.
Yeah,
love that album.
Most
That's an
vulnerable
amazing
album. I think most vulnerable album ever. I don't think any artist is actually tapping that deep into like relationship problems, especially with somebody like Jay-Z. Yeah. You're Beyonce, and you are outwardly saying, yes, my man also cheated on me, and however, this is how we got back together, and this is how I forgave him. You also forgave him? Like, people were looking at you like, girl.
Yeah, no. I feel like I had a man that cheated. I feel like she does a really good job of putting or giving us her story in a way that we feel like we're in it. Yeah. Like, I've never experienced anything like that, but I'm like, Beyonce, like, I get you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, definitely. That was definitely her. And also, I think Adele summed it up really well when she won Album of the Year, and she literally was like, what more did she have to do the Academy? Like, she broke her award. They actually cut it out on the Grammys night, but there was other footage showing she broke her award to share with Beyonce. That's why Beyonce was crying when she was giving that speech.
I love it.
And she was like, the way you made my Black friends feel in that album, because let's not also forget that she had a lot of songs that talked about police brutality. She had a lot of her freaking Super Bowl performance. Yeah. When she was dressed like Black Panther. Like, this was the album that people always joke, like, oh, Beyonce needs to remind you guys she is Black. She is Black. Yeah. And that's exactly what she did. Talking about the freaking hurricanes in Louisiana. Like, she covered a lot of heavy topics, and she brought confidence in Black people, you know?
Yeah. Needed especially at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. So, again, just always disrespect it. Because that was 2016. That's right when Trump was elected. Yeah. Sorry, not to go back to
no. it always goes back there.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. But let's also talk about Kendrick Lamar. Now, I just want to know. Let's say we're beefing, right? Okay. I'm Kendrick, you're Drake.
Okay.
I know, right? Okay, so you did lose, unfortunately, the beef. You're a Toronto man with like 11 different accents. Yes. And I dropped this album, and you know what? I mentioned Rory Mal earlier in this episode and how that's one of my favorite hip hop podcasts. My only annoying thing about Mal is that he just can't accept that Not Like Us is bigger than calling Drake a pedophile. He just hates the fact that he called him a pedophile.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh, so you're not hip to this? So just a little context. Mal is friends with Drake, and so a lot of times his points are a little bit biased, but he acts like they're not biased. They're definitely biased. And one of the things that he's always saying is there's no way you can call somebody a pedophile, a freaky, what did he say, a 6'9" freaky guy or whatever. There's no way you can do that without any evidence. That's what Mal likes to say. There's no evidence that he actually does this. And he was like, okay, yeah, he dated 19-year-old Georgia Smith and he was in his 30s. That doesn't make you a pedophile. Well, no, but it makes you a creep.
It makes you weird.
It makes you weird. You're in your 30s. Weird. Bro, he made songs about Georgia Smith breaking his heart. And she was 19. She was 19.
It's obviously that's just like very weird on his part,
Yeah.
but like almost above all, actually because I'm Drake, I'm in his shoes.
Yeah.
Where's the shame?
Where's the
Like,
shame?
aren't you a little bit embarrassed about that one?
I would be embarrassed.
Like, I personally wouldn't release
like you let
that.
a 19-year-old break your heart and you're
Come
30.
on, a grown man.
You're a grown man. Grow up.
Like frontal lobe been
developed.
developed.
Hers not even near. She
Not
can't even drink in the
even.
US. What? Anyway, he likes to only call out the fact that Kendrick was calling him a pedophile. However, Kendrick was also saying that you're not for the culture. Not like us as a whole. Was he saying that you're a weird guy? But he was more so saying the culture doesn't respect you because you're constantly using us for your profit.
Yeah.
However, like, you're actually not deeply tapped in. Like, his whole thing about him going to Atlanta whenever he needs a new hit and, like, grabbing, like, all those, like, top, you know, stars, like the 21 Savages, Young Thugs of the world. Like, we could go on and on, but yeah.
No, that's definitely true. Like, he picks in, as a mixed man, he definitely leans into that in picking and choosing when to, I guess, be within the Black community.
Yeah, for sure. Just like, I think it definitely showed when Rick Ross, like, told him that his nose, like, he got a nose job, and he was like calling him BBO Drizzy. And then Drake posted his text messages with his white mother saying, like, Rick Ross was bullying him. Like, that's when it shows. Or how about this? Kendrick tells you can't say the N-word anymore, so your intro of your song is your mother saying, hey, Drake, I really don't think you should say that word. And he's like, no. What? I'm sorry, why didn't no one talk about that enough? Are you kidding? Your white mother just told you, hey, Drake, I really don't think you should say that word anymore.
I like
because
hear
Kendrick
things,
told you
but
that.
I don't fully, like, digest it.
That's
That's weird as hell.
Welcome
Why
to
did
VibesDigest.
he do that? What the hell?
Welcome to VibesDigest.
Yes.
Yeah, like, I think this is exactly what Kendrick is talking about, and I just hate when people miss the message. Ball, you're constantly missing the message. And he's not just calling Drake a pedophile. He's saying the culture doesn't like you.
Yeah.
And actually, you guys should check out my episode 2. I talk about Drake's numbers and how he has not been charting. And I think that this beef has actual long-term effects on Drake.
Everyone's, like, eyes are a bit more open.
Eyes are more open. Have you listened to, like, any of his newer songs that he's dropped? Like, do you know, like, he previewed a song a week or two ago?
When did he drop? On Instagram or Spotify?
On Instagram.
Okay, definitely. I have not seen it.
Yeah, exactly. Or, like, even the 100 gigs. It was, like, called OVO, like, October's Very Own. It was, yeah. Nobody was really listening to it. He was previewing a song. He also dropped 100 gigs. He dropped a bunch of songs. Nobody's talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it, but
No one's
when
listening.
I was in Miami, this really fucking annoying man forced
always.
me to forced me to listen to one song in particular, like actually replayed it because he loved it so much, and honestly it was really good. I'm not supporting the man.
Wait, which
way.
one? 100 gigs?
What, like, one of the songs within, I forgot which one, like,
I think
No
one of them
Face, I
was
think.
good. Like, honestly, like, I'm not saying he makes bad music. It's Drake. I think people are no longer listening as
numbers
intently.
are not
the
where,
numbers where they once
used to
were.
be. Yeah.
Drake would drop a project and people would not stop talking about it for weeks.
Yeah.
It would be in the clubs for weeks. We still hear Drake in the club, but it's his old music.
So true.
Like, people aren't listening to his new stuff anymore, and I just want to make the argument that that is because of Kendrick.
Yeah.
I think people really started thinking about it like, holy crap, you are a biracial man, a black and Jewish white man who grew up in the suburbs of Toronto, who likes to cosplay being Caribbean, African,
everything,
a gang
British
member,
like
a hood dude from Atlanta. You like to cosplay a lot of these different things, and you change your accents, you change your flows. Now, I couldn't understand the argument of like, oh, he's changing his flow to like, I guess, make the song sound better, match the vibe or whatever. Cool, I guess. But it's an era. It's like you're appropriating this stuff. But then you say slick stuff, like one, running to your white mother whenever stuff gets sticky. Two, not to highlight Tyler. Then two, when you're in the middle of a whole rap beef, you make a comment that Kendrick sounds like he's trying to free the slaves. He raps like he's trying to free the slaves.
That was really...
You're not even American.
What?
You are a Canadian biracial man. You're not even American. You know nothing about the Atlantic slave trade. Let's start there.
And also, regardless, what do you mean
and
by
what do you
that?
mean? And regardless, what do you mean by that? Is that not a good thing?
Like,
do we not want him to free the slaves?
Like hello.
Is that an insult?
And like, okay, slavery's over, but is it? Like,
but is it?
And no, that was a really weird comment.
Even if it is over, like, what are you trying? This man just said you're not for the culture. Mm-hmm. This man just said... It
hit a little too close to home.
So it hit close to home. Because, I know that as hell. We have a fruit fly in here, you guys, and it's crazy. But no, it definitely hit close to home because people then started questioning, like, does Canada have, like, culture? Does Canada have culture when it comes to Black culture? I feel like The Weeknd and Part of the Store. Like, they have singing culture, and I think that's also why Drake sometimes sings.
But is that... I know they're Canadian. Is that their culture? They come over here. You know what I mean? Like, true. It's kind of... And I know where they're born, like their citizenship or whatever, but like, I think it's more like U.S. like Black culture, than
no, for sure,
Canadian.
Like
Black
it's definitely
culture.
not originated there.
Anything about Canada?
Some I don't either. I know they're nice and they have great bacon.
Yes.
Beautiful money. That's
maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
Little
yes. Hockey. Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
That's about it. Well, unfortunately, your girl has to go soon. Okay, me. So I'm gonna quickly transition into something else, which is our vibe spotlight. I'm so sad that we only literally have 10 minutes to rave about Megan Thee Stallion. I feel like I'm just gonna have to have MJ back on this pod. Honestly, when we have more time.
Subscribe if you like and subscribe if you want me back, guys.
Right, thank you. Let me see the numbers. The numbers. But we wanted to talk about Megan's documentary that's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So depressing.
So sad.
And I think that's actually a perfect transition because that's another reason why Drake is very annoying. Just about the fact that he was dragging Megan.
For no
reason. Wait, can I rumor?
Really did,
do you know the rumor about why he's dragging Megan?
No, I'm
apparently, he wanted to have sex with Megan, and
that's
Megan said no.
What it is.
And
he's
Megan
mad at some
no.
woman for he's again just a man. He's mad at some woman for something that like has to do with herself and her autonomy,
and he still
won't shut the fuck up about it. Like I'm thinking about like Serena and who else like was he rapping about or like
Rihanna forever. Like to this day.
She's doing better than you. Like let's get over it.
Both women are apparently married. The rumor is Rihanna's married, but both women are with great, amazing partners who love, cherish them, respect them.
I was like, Meg's not married.
No, Rihanna and Serena, yeah. And they have kids, and you're still talking. Oh
you're what? 39?
He's pushing 40.
He might 40. Be there. His birthday just came up.
No, I think he's like 39. I feel like he's like 35.
He's
38. He's 38.
No,
he's 38.
Much older than 35. Mind you, I know there's a lot of Drake hate. I still enjoy his music.
No,
like,
I still
listen to can't deny.
Hey,
and like
I said this last episode. Views, my favorite Drake album. I like soft Drake. I like Drake. Kendrick said
Bring that back.
I like singing Drake. That's what Kendrick said. I like singing Drake. I hate hard Drake. I hate a Drake who don't know nothing and likes to act like he wants to pop stuff.
Yeah.
I hate that so bad. And that's what Megan said in his. But anyway, let's get back to the documentary. And I feel like, okay, one, I think that's really started the hate train of Meg. I think that's what we learned. Like all of a sudden people started switching up on her.
From Drake?
No. From just the Tory Lanez stuff of her like being shot.
For sure.
And the bigger question I want to pose right now is why isn't Megan charting the way that she deserves? She drops good music. She just dropped an album. People are also not really talking about it. She's also not charting.
She wasn't nominated for anything.
I don't think so.
No. I was gonna say, I feel like, and I could be wrong because my dates are always off, but the Tory Lanez drama was around the time she was really doing well.
Yes,
and
it was.
It's a Black woman succeeding, and she's not like light skin, and she's not like petite and tiny, and like you know, it's harder for the world to digest. They're like, oh, like there's something wrong with her. Let's run with it.
Yeah. And this was an opportunity to pin that against her.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree.
No, but that documentary okay, it didn't shock me. Like I knew about like the Tory, I knew about some of the Tory things.
Yeah.
But I didn't know like where I like first of all I cried during that documentary. I do not know how she is in or had to be in the public eye and was going through all of that and then like running onto an interview with like Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon and like smiling. Like absolutely not. I'm not going to that.
That was so depressing. I would cancel. Or how about her literally telling her team, "Hey, I feel like I'm on a panic attack right now. I feel like I'm on a break. Like I need a moment." He's
was
like,
that the one? Buckets to the side, was that time?
Buckets to the side.
Okay, maybe that's when she was like just physically ill. Like we'll put a
that
bucket
was
to the side.
yeah. That was physically ill, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about when they were sitting on the couch and she was like, "I feel like I'm about to lose my mind." He's like, "I don't want you to," but she's like, "How much more? Like, can I take a break?"
Yeah.
It was like July or something. He's like, "You can take a break after September."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Your artist is literally begging for help, and you're just like,
Yeah. Doc also was just really, I think, well made.
No,
like
it
I
was.
thought, I didn't realize it'd have some like animated parts to it.
I
but
love
I
that.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They did that really well.
yeah, I love that she
Yeah.
included like a actual interest. Like she, you know, she's an anime girl.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool for sure.
And a good way to like show instead of having like maybe like
Showing her
fake actors or whatever, like
personalities.
show
That
like
too.
their like childhood and things
Yes,
like that. I thought that
exactly.
was great.
Which was also so sad. I feel like she just kept having a terrible event after a terrible event happen to her mother.
Back to back.
Oh my gosh.
Like
And
her
grandma,
mom
I
wasn't
think,
too
and then her
far
mom.
off from her dad, right?
No, her dad was when she was a child. I think it was
school?
like her grandma maybe.
Okay.
It was another relative who passed away not too far from her mom, but her mom also was sudden and at the peak.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, like, she even said it in the I'm sorry, I said pod too now. She even said it in the documentary that if her mother was here, she wouldn't be hanging out with the people she was hanging out with. She wouldn't be drinking the way she was drinking.
Damn, yeah.
Do you remember, and this is horrible on Nikki's part, and Nikki's diss to her, the whole Bigfoot, step on your Bigfoot. Anyway, one of the things one of the things she talks about was her sipping Douce, like a bottle of Douce with a straw. But people weren't noticing that she literally hadn't healed from her mother passing away. That was her best friend. Mm-hmm. This is like her becoming a rapper was inspired from her mother.
Her mother, like her whole life, honestly, like nothing around her, I feel like would not remind her of her mother.
Exactly, but also like your mother inspires you to do all this. You're at the top of your career. You know your mother would tell you keep going, but you haven't healed from that. Why were her friends allowing her to go on live while she was that lit?
I mean,
why wasn't anybody
had some fake
intervening?
friends.
Oh well, Kelsey girl,
Like clearly had
Kelsey.
some.
There's a special place for you.
No, that's truly so evil. No, but when her mom died, and then the next clip was 3 weeks later, and she was like out performing at Savannah.
Yeah.
So I was like,
3 weeks, and you can just be performing.
Yeah, that's
No,
so,
I
or like
know.
had to be performing. I'm sure that's so sad.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Definitely feel bad for her. I just hope they need to figure something out. I've talked to people who think that like Rock Nation isn't helping her, like her being signed. They manage her. She's an independent artist.
Yeah.
But they manage her, and apparently that name tied to them isn't the best thing.
Like her name?
It's not helping her, people think. Like, people don't trust Rock Nation in general right now. Primarily because of the whole Jay-Z stuff. That's why people don't really trust him currently in the music industry. And so the person I was talking to is like, I'm really, like, he basically thinks that the reason why she's not selling as much as she could is because she's tied to this management company.
Interesting.
I think it's bigger than, I think
Who
it's
else
really
is
just
on
about
Rock
Tori.
Nation?
I actually could not tell you who else is, like, managed by Rock Nation.
No, it definitely.
I feel like it had to be Tori.
Like, for sure, but.
People couldn't get over that situation. They look at it like, oh, you locked up a black man. They didn't even believe her. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is going back to the election. I'm not trying to, but I just feel like the goalpost is so far for black women. You didn't believe me. I show you my bullet wounds. I show you the x-rays. I show you my stitches in my foot.
Like, what do you need?
And you're still like not believing me. Then you say, oh, but I thought you told the cops you broke glass. She literally was protecting him in that moment. Did y'all see the footage?
Yeah.
Did y'all see the helicopters in freaking Calabasas?
Terrifying.
All
while she's in a little bikini.
In a bikini.
Mind you, like, and I know
On the
Meg's ass was out, like, everything.
Everything
like,
was out.
I can't imagine feeling that vulnerable while also being truly physically
practically,
vulnerable.
yes, exactly.
No.
Literally had to get on the ground, show that you don't have a gun. You're terrified that they're just going to start shooting. Like you said, extremely vulnerable. Like, you're in a freaking bikini. Your foot is bleeding out.
Yeah.
And also, it's a black man who did it. It's 2020. You don't want him to get, you don't want to get him shot either. So, of course, you lie. the reason why it actually came out, apparently, it's a doctor literally saying, girl, this is bullet fragments. This
like,
is not glass.
That doesn't look like, because she, exactly, like, I'm sure maybe, like, something would have happened behind the scenes. They would have worked out, maybe, whatever. Yeah. Of course, until they started getting really fucking malicious. Oh my gosh,
and why does nobody talk about that?
I didn't know the horse extent. That was insane.
That was sick.
That's not even just sick. That's evil. That's deep. Like, that's malice.
No,
like,
it is.
Can something be charged
evil.
Against?
No, like.
It was the cut from the like his. I assumed it was a jail call, but was he ever? I assumed maybe it was a jail call. Talking to Kelsey, like, I'm so sorry, like, I was just really drunk, like, blah blah. Next clip, he like.
Well, yeah, it was a progression. I think that's how most abusers are. He was very apologetic. He was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," and then all of a sudden, the audience, like, people were supporting him. Like, then he started to switch. But even before that, he started like reaching out to her, being like, "I'm just checking in on you." She kept like trying to block him, and he just kept finding ways to contact her. Then it was exactly what you're saying. Then he became malicious. He got too confident.
And tying back to my original point, he got too confident because obviously during the times it was hard to see like another black person putting, or quote unquote putting, he put himself there. Putting a black man in like legal trouble in any way. That was definitely a factor, but also, like, again, they were running with, oh, this black woman did something to a black man. Black women hate black men. Like, you know, what are you talking about? I don't know.
My favorite quote from Malcolm X is literally like, the most disrespected person in America is a black woman.
Like, hello.
Absolutely.
We've seen it time and time again. This election, like, truly.
Always. Like, the standard is so freaking high. I just don't understand how the victim is a villain. She was shot. She was literally shot. And
my issue is how in these celebrities' businesses people get. And obviously I'm in their business. But like, I'm just digesting that information.
I love these pies.
I'm just digesting the information. I'm not then going like, the one clip in the documentary was, she's a liar.
Yeah.
Because of one lie that she told, and I think it was the fact that she said that she slept with,
like, whatever. But also, why was Gail asking that?
That was weird. And also, have you never told a lie in your life? I mean, I'm not
gonna say that have to do with the actual issue. So what if you had sex? Like what does that have to do with you shooting?
So she consented to having sex, and she basically said he bamboozled her into it.
Right.
Like, I don't think anyway. So she's consenting to being shot.
How is that even
completely different issues?
Completely different issues. And I also understand, why would I, one, admit about who I'm sleeping with on national TV? Two, like, you know how they're going to phrase that. Yeah. Now it's going to be this whole thing. You're going to focus on the fact that we had a sexual relationship versus the fact I got shot, and that's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened.
They started, I can't even understand how you can put those two in the same situation. It's like, if Tori was her boyfriend and he shot her, would that make it better?
Right. Would it? It's still domestic violence.
It definitely is. But I'm really glad. It was really good to see Meg's progression, her rise. I love that girl down. She's my gym playlist. Like, after I watched that, watched the documentary, I listened to every album in order. I still have to listen to the last one. Yeah, I wanted to see her progression.
Even the album Megan, that I believe only has 64,000 sales.
Really? Okay.
It didn't
perform
well.
What do you mean by that? Like, are people buying CDs?
Purchasing like music, like the Apple Store, like actual like purchasing music, like downloading.
Okay, that's like as a whole separate topic.
That's what I mean by, like, she's not really charting. Her music isn't really selling, but she's producing good music, and people aren't discussing her. Like, people are discussing her on our timelines, but as a whole, people aren't really talking about Megan. And
that's true.
Remember when she was in her prime, the WAP era?
Yeah.
The,
whatever.
When she's doing all those songs with DaBaby,
Savage,
which she's also awful.
Anyway.
Yeah. Like, her life was just going like this, this, and all because of Tori.
That 5'3" little munchkin.
4'11" munchkin.
Come on now, little goblin. Like, no.
Who, like, was going to jail regardless. It was the state against him. Like, you were going to prison.
Yeah. No, the free Tory from, like, all... And I have to stop, like, oh, like, these male rappers are disappointing me. They're not... Like, I never held them to... I don't know why,
standard,
like, ever. So it's like...
Are we surprised?
Like...
Are we surprised?
Yeah, there we go. Honestly, throughout, I kept thinking, like, I'm so happy she's hot. Like, at least she knows... Like, she's gorgeous. She's so hot.
She is
like, gorgeous. And I hope I'm sure she knows that. If not anything, at least we have hotness.
But apparently hotness isn't selling or charting. I just think, like, if you're an artist and you're putting out, like, music that really means a lot to you, you want to see it perform well.
Definitely.
And when you were hitting certain numbers before, and now this is... You know, it's like, dang, just because of one situation.
Yeah.
Like, that has changed the trajectory of her career. Like, imagine if that never happened.
Maybe, like, year 5 of Tori being in prison.
Maybe people will start to forget.
Oh.
But then also, I think the documentary probably reminded people all over again because it was trending once again about the whole Tory case.
Yeah. Hopefully reminded. They see how wrong they are.
I wouldn't believe that.
People still listen to R. Kelly. Like, let's say Megan is the villain, which is not. She's not at all, obviously. Yeah. But if you believe Megan's a villain and you're Chris Brown, people are still listening to.
No, people still support Chris Brown.
Hello?
Like, he sold out many of those tour dates.
Tours. He's, like, everywhere.
And he's so
like,
actively abusing women.
I don't actively. Whenever I see
it wasn't just
posting,
Rihanna.
No, it was many women.
Yeah.
Women and men. Hey,
have
so
you seen this documentary? That's so bad. Have you seen his documentary on HBO?
No.
There's actually no plot. It's just like really just telling
his.
It's not produced by him, but they're just talking about how many people he's beat up, basically. Like yes, like physically harmed.
That's a serious problem.
He has a lot of anger issues. People just like to say, "Oh, Rihanna forgave him, so why can't we?" It wasn't just Rihanna.
And it's like not up to us to forgive him, but we have to know who he is, and we should not give him a platform.
I think that's the bigger thing. Absolutely, it's really not about forgiveness.
Yeah,
it's about recognizing. You have too much power.
Should not give you any more.
You shouldn't get any more. Control your anger.
You know, he beat up Chris Brown. Not Chris Brown. Frank Ocean. Like,
yeah.
Like, Jesus. Like, truly, he's for everybody.
Yeah.
And there's, like, pictures of some of the abuse. Like, actively, I think, like, some paparazzi shots.
Yeah.
People don't care.
He threw Karrueche down the stairs, and people do not care. He was actively stalking Karrueche.
Damn.
There's that photo of him, like, when his foot pops up on the curbside and she looks terrified. That meme that you guys like to make out of that, yeah. That, like, she was terrified.
Yeah. That's actually really crazy.
That's insane.
He's a man.
At the end of the day. I think that's what this episode should be titled. He's just a man.
The amount of times we've said that, like,
he's just a man.
Like, it's not, I mean, it's surprising just how everyone is receiving it.
Yeah.
Like, each different situation or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, that's a
man
behavior.
Yeah.
Like, unsurprising.
At all.
Damn.
But unfortunately, I do have to wrap this up. Your girl has a date in 35 minutes. Ooh. No makeup on my face. No outfit. I'm about to be a little late. Yeah, girl, 6:10.
Yes, is that the time?
Ooh, I should not have said 6:45, but guys, I changed the reservation 3 times, so I simply could not do it again. I couldn't figure out how to record both of our audios, but praise God, I figured it out now.
Women in STEM.
Lots of YouTube videos and lots of borderline tears. It took me over an hour. So happy I did that. Thank you so much for being my first guest.
Of course, thanks for having me.
This was so fun. We're gonna do this again because we didn't get to wise vibes, and I think some of the rudder questions would have been really fun to go through.
Another time.
The next time. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and I'm gonna see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye. Good job.
We had fun.
That was so fun.